In round 2, Saturday afternoon at 4:15 p.m, Adelaide Oval, the Tigers took on Port Adelaide, with the Tigers going down by 72 points. Final scores being Port Adelaide 21 goals 14, 140 to Richmond 9 goals 14, 68. So after being on such a high after round 1, the Tiger fans were brought back to reality.
Nice to get back to reality.
First off, we'll get the negative stuff out of the way, so we can finish on a good note. So watching the game from my lounge room on Saturday afternoon, these are some of the things that I noticed that I was most disappointed with.
Wait a minute. This isn't my world. Disappointed!
So when that little fight broke out just before quarter time, involving mostly young players in there for Richmond, including second game players Sam Lawler and Luke Traynor, and I was disappointed, other than Nick Floston, not to see more of our senior players come in and stick up for our young blokes. I know Nank was in there too, but it looked like he pretty much helped drop Luke Traynor. I'm not trying to promote violence in any way, but as a fan, I think we'd like to see more of our senior players step in and not take that shit.
Don't take any shit.
Again, just too many costly turnovers, leaving poor players wide open, uncontested marks everywhere, putting no pressure on the Port players, letting them get clean disposals, Port players easily breaking through tackles, and Richmond players not being able to stick them, and just some of the senior players not continuing their good form from last week. Players such as Jack Ross and Tim Taranto. We're going to need a consistent effort from these players this year. If they're not going to put in the effort, the young blokes will have the same mindset. It's time for them to step up and start being leaders. So amongst all that negative stuff, I was actually able to find a few positives.
Positively positive!
A few of the team's stats that looked okay were our clearances, contested possessions, and inside 50s. Tom Brown's kicking is elite. I'd like to see us use it more, going inside our 50. When Uze finally decided to move the magnets, and we saw Jacob Blight go into the ruck and a little bit up forward, that we may have found something. It was good to see Jacob Blight back out there, continuing his good form from last week, along with a few other players that I thought that carried on their good form from last week. In James Tresize, Thompson Dow, Seth Campbell, and Ryan Mansell. I also thought second game player Harry Armstrong was impressive. With the limited and the quality of the supply he was getting, it was good to see him take some strong marks, kick his first career goal, and get on the end of a couple. We also had another couple players kicking their first career goals in Liam Fawcett and Jacob Blight. Sam Lawler was a bit quieter than he was in his first game, and it would have been hard to play in that forward line on the weekend. But I think so far that when he moves into the midfield, that he looks more comfortable.
Really? But you look so comfortable.
I was happy that the team kept running out the game and had a good last quarter and didn't get blown out by 100 points, like it was shaping up to be. I know we should be expecting to sometimes lose by these kind of margins, but as fans, I think it's safe to say that we just want to see a bit more consistency in our effort and in our pressure. It doesn't take skill or experience to bring effort or pressure.
We can do this! Say we can do this!
So moving on to round 1 of the VFL on Sunday morning at 11 AM in Beaconsfield, where the Tigers took on the Coburg Lions, with Richmond getting the win by 13 points, with the final scores being Richmond 13 goals 10, 88, to the Coburg Lions 11 goals 9, 75. So Richmond got off to a strong start and had a good lead on them, and the Coburg Lions managed to claw their way back and make it a good contest. And the Lions hit the front and got out to a 20-point lead. But the Tigers were able to come back and take back the lead. The Tigers were able to hang on and get the win. Samson Ryan was decent again, finishing the game with 3 goals. Tom Sims was pretty impressive, finishing with 2. And our number 14 pick in the draft, Dante Fall. He showcased some of the talent that he has. But our best on ground was Tyler Sonzi, who played as an inside mid, who finished up the day with 33 disposals, 10 clearances, and a goal. And Kane McAuliffe, who also played in the midfield, finished up the day with 29 disposals and a goal. So we move on to next week, where the Tigers take on the Saints at Marvel Stadium. An away game on Saturday afternoon at 4:15 PM. And some of my possible changes could be, obviously Sam Banks, who got subbed out of the game with a cut above his eye and a concussion. Ryan Mantle was on the bench late in the last quarter with ice on his shoulder. We are still not sure how bad it is yet. Fingers crossed, he's good to go next week.
Fingers crossed.
And with Tom Lynch coming back from suspension, someone is going to have to come out for him. So it'd probably be out of Harry Armstrong, Liam Fawcett, and Jacob Bauer. And I would probably go with Jacob Bauer. So that is 3 changes I made with players going out of the team. And the players I have coming in would be someone I just mentioned a second ago, obviously Tom Lynch, who is coming back from suspension, and a couple players that I also mentioned earlier, the best on ground performers in the VFL, Tyler Sonzi and Kane McAuliffe. Hopefully we see a response from the Tigers this week.
We need a response team.
Alright guys, so there you have it. Another edition of Tigtalk. I hope you enjoyed my match review. Don't be afraid to comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be back with another take. I'm JJ.